Hello, everybody. Oh, that's right. I didn't get the crew sounds over for this one. And I hear the repeats. So that means we are live. Hello. Yay. Welcome. Welcome. Hey, it's my birthday. So what do I do on my birthday? I hang out with all of you guys. So go figure. That's what we do around here, you know? Thank you. My name is John Skippy Limcool. Welcome to a new live stream. This is on my channel, pluginguru.com. And we are going to be playing with a new library today that just came out. And it's kind of a special library in that it has a picture of me on the cover. Let's see, get that over here. As kind of a cyborg Terminator kind of dude, I guess. I originally wanted Matt to go for like the Matrix, but this is what he came up with, and I like it. And since it's really kind of a cool experimental, there's so much stuff in this patch library that is cool and different. The picture works and is a perfect fit for it. So it's on sale for $22.50 until I believe the 18th is what I set up. So in 1 week, this price will go away. So grab it if you would like to get it. And since it's Father's Day weekend, there's a sale at my site as well. If you put in Happy Birthday Skippy, no spaces, no large caps, in your checkout box, whatever is in your cart, you get a $10 discount. So you can get this library for $22.50. The discount can't be applied to it, so you can't get the new library for $12. But you can get another like $35 or $49 library for $10 less. So, and that's just appreciation to all the fathers out there. Shout outs to everybody that's a dad. Best thing in the world. 9 cents per patch. Yeah, hey, people are really happy with it. Cool. Glad you guys like it. ESC in the house. Guys, good job. Really cool library. I didn't do too much work. I did do some work on basses and a couple other sounds and stuff, but I tried to really keep my hands off, which is hard because, you know, you want to like, oh, this could be this could be, and, you know, sometimes it's good just to leave things the way they are so that you're letting somebody else's personality, voice, and stuff be set. So let me see here. I'm checking to see if anybody has any questions. I got a live stream. Okay, good. We do have one. We have two, at least we have a couple different live. Okay, we have some live stream questions. Good. So we'll get to those. I want to show you, I just want to give a shout out. He's not going to be here, but I want to shout out to Matt Wachowski, the artist behind this. I want to show you something. So my daughter and I were downtown, and she took this picture of me with the brick wall behind us. And then that was to be used for the artwork. The original artwork I had done was this. And then I worked up an idea, which was this. But then Matt comes along, and this is why you hire professionals that know what they're doing, and did this, which is like, it's like a frickin' movie, like a movie poster. I mean, he lives in Poland and has been the artist that's put images to all the libraries that I've released for the last 4, 5, 6 years. Just an amazingly nice guy. And yes, I got my eye back. It was really weird having that whole, it was really cool. I mean, you could see like through buildings and stuff like that. But big shout out to Matt. That was really appreciated that he came through like that with that artwork. Now, I've done a thing over here. I have all 3 demo songs. I got really inspired and wrote 3 really cool songs. I really like the songs. In like less than 48-hour period of time. And so I'm going to play you the final mixes. So let's just go media to the project. I don't know why it has all the, It needed to import these for some reason for the project. Let's close this up, and I'm going to get, so if we go like this and hide, And somewhere over here, I have, oh, it's always a mess on my screen, isn't it? So if we go over here, I'm gonna go desktop. So that's the Indivisible Justice, Dig Dug, and then Tribute. So I'm gonna put these over here. Because these are without the mastering. I'm going to show you also my mastering preset, which is right here, that I set up when I do a mix. And I'll show you and explain a little bit about that. But here, let's do this. Let's go like, oh, I don't want to show the naked. So the first one we're going to do is Dig Dug. So we'll get that over here. Oh, it's purple. Cool. So I'm going to, let's see, let's do this. Let's, mute these guys for the moment. And here is the mix for Dig Dug. Let's go right here. So, the way that I built that up, let's show you the sounds here. Let's unmute these guys. The drums didn't make it across for some reason. But the heart of this sound is actually one patch. Right here. From MK. That's Marcel Crapels. This really cool, oh, and it's not gonna play. Oh, I gotta get USB connected. One note. So it's playing a 5th chord. It's got this really cool from synth sound, and then this really cool sound that's playing a 5th up, and then it's rhythmic. And the rhythm is coming from mainly right here. And then I set the mod wheel up so it gets so brighter. And I think I even used EQ. Oh, I had to take it down because the other stuff got really brittle. Yeah. As the filter came up, it got more brittle. So like if we were to like listen to this without this, as the mod wheel goes up, it's like, ah! So I bring down the high end as it comes up. So those types of tricks sometimes need to be employed. The other sound that makes this really work is the bass, which is right here. Funky by WS. WS is Icarus. And this has a really, it's kind of got an FM-esque quality to it. And if you play, and then I did some stuff on the mod wheel to give it a little bit more modulation. So you could get this talking kind of stuff happening. So between those, and then the drum program, drums were Super Mantra drums, and then I had this percolating in the background. Oh. Yeah. So this is the sequence playing. And that happy percolating is something from Reactor. Love Reactor. I got back into using Reactor in these demos. This is Miro Klim. from this, I can't remember what model this is. I think it's the Pacom El Luvin. I'm not sure. It's one of the instruments, but it is just really cool because you can get all sorts of really cool. And I have it going through a high pass filter. There's all that bass in you here. I didn't want that. I just wanted the happy percolating high end. So that way it's not interfering with the other sounds from the... Right? And if you haven't seen this, let me move this over here for a second. If we go to all files to this is Dig Dug. Check this out. So I'm going to load in the contact. Here's the contact drum stuff. And then what I forgot to click was this, the content. I want it to load the content. And by hitting add, it will go in and add all of that stuff into it. So now I have the full song. But I think to the kit, if I recall, there's two different kits. And I had the kit going to one output, and I was sending them to buses and stuff. That's not all there, so I can't show you that. But check this out. Here's the mix. Now, my voice is going to get really weird here in a second. Thank you, guys. Thank you for all the happy birthday wishes. Hey, where's the cake? Ha, 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 ha. And towards the end, we will light it up. So check this out. My voice is gonna go freaky because I'm gonna turn on my mastering process. It's pretty insane what this does. Ready? So there's this long delay, and my voice just got this. Now listen. Here's without it. Oh wait, no, there's still some stuff on. So if I go through it, turn them off like this to make sure it's off. There. Big difference. Here, I'll turn the things on at a time. So there's a high pass filter to start, which limits everything below 46 to be gone. Then I'm using the Neve channel. It does this really nice aggressive edge to it. So we turn this on, add a little bit more warmth and low end. Next up is a multi-band compressor. And as I I have control over each band. The air. And I have it set to dance the low and just right. Next up is the shadow compressor, Shadow Hills. Check this out, from this to this. It's one of those magic box kind of things. Magic box. And then at the end, just to press my like 3.5 dB boost, limiting so it doesn't peak. A lot of times I have to, at this point, add a utility gain and put this at the very beginning and bring down the mix just a little bit sometimes. If I look at my, if it's hitting really hard. So I'm looking at my mix right here. And that's basically what I do for mastering their tracks. It's not rocket science and probably not recommended by some people, I'm sure, but that's what I do. So let's turn these all off. There's a lot of latency by adding those. So I'm talking and it's like a while before you hear my voice. So that's the first demo, Dig Dug. And that came out really cool. The next one I wrote last night, and it's Indivisible Justice. And it sounds like this. Let's do this. Let's turn these off. This was kind of more like a filmic processed kind of a thing. Really like the vibe of it. So here it is as the demo. And then I'll show you the sounds that were used. There's only those two sounds for Dig Dug. It was drums, bass, and then the other sound did so much I didn't need anything else really to do it. You can try this with your own tools, yeah. You can use other similar tools that are not Universal Audios. It's just Universal Audios are just hands down the best as far as I'm concerned. And once you buy them, I just got 3 notices for 3 different wave plugins that I need to re-update if I want to, or they expire. And I checked and I've got 12 different wave plugins that I've bought for $29. And to update from 9 to 10 is $325. So be aware, waves, they do the really cheap you buy, and then they get you on licensing when they upgrade from 9 to 10, from 10 to 11. You haven't bought the plugins. You have to re-up them if you want them to work with the new operating system. And maybe that's not important now, but in a version of 2, when, you know, old software might not even be compatible, it's sad that you have to pay more money. These, you pay for them, you own them. It's not one of those types of paying for time and time. So many companies are bringing out this paying per month thing. Output just recently did that on a sample loop player system for $10 a month. You have to pay to use it. It's just, you know, it's a nice way to try to make money off people, but I don't like it at this moment. Maybe in 2 years, maybe I'm doing that, right? Hey, Johan, thank you. Yeah. Okay, so here is Indivisible. I'll get off my stool. This is the final mastered version. Yeah, stereo image would be good. Yeah, nice, Greg. Chord progression right here. Love the sounds. The sounds are so cool. Thanks, Scott. Appreciate it. All these people popping up and saying happy birthday to me, so I have to say thank you to them. So this one, boy, where do you start? It started really loosely. I started playing with this sound right here. right? And then, let's see, what sound is this? Let's point out the sounds as we go. Give credit to the programmers that made these awesome things. This is The Drowning House by Harold. I know the HG. The Heart Attack Guru. And then I added the Electric Storm from Icarus, which was this sound here. And then I was having a hard time figuring out what to use for a bass, and I came up with a really cool solution. I'm using a lead, but it's transposed down 2 octaves. Let's see, where's it at? Right here. Yeah, lead. This is Mythics, which is made by Stefan. But I've transposed it on the main page down 2 octaves, so it's supposed to be... But a lot of times, here's a really great tip. Basses can be swapped for leads, and leads can be swapped for basses. So if you're looking for something unique, sometimes look in the lead category instead of the bass category for a bass sound, and look in the bass category instead of the lead category for a lead sound. Because they have inherent, they're monophonic, usually they have faster attacks, and a lot of times they will play in ranges that you don't expect in sound. And then I did some sculpting and saved it for the library where the mod wheel goes the other direction. I think it was originally going brighter, but I wanted to go darker, so I could get to subby type of stuff. And then the mod wheel can... There's no effects. This is straight out of Omnisphere. And then the idea and the chord progression started to come along, and I decided I wanted to double this with something, and I found this just lovely thing. I think Bernie, oh, this is a Clark. Clark did this, the long ambient string piano. So those are the sounds. That's I think that I use finally, and you'll notice that I'm using 2 Omnisphere. It's because of the power required to play these sounds and the effects and so forth. When I tried to add a 4th sound, I started getting crackling with the bass. And when that happens, you immediately start another Omnisphere. Because the rule is this: Omnisphere sucks up a processor core per Omnisphere, right? And so it can only do so much. But if you call up another Omnisphere, it takes another core. Here's all these cores in my computer. So when I play this, let's start from the beginning. So it's just killing the processors. There's some stuff happening over here too. The drums are going to be weird, just because I would set them up, and it's using multiple buses, but I'm using molecular, and I'm doing a cool thing with molecular where I'm automating the dry and the effects. So if you watch this, let's just solo this because the processor power requirements are kind of high here. But check this out. So, oh, that didn't even get put in. I was doing this kind of stuff. Right? And then I had 2 other buses sent to do different really large effects. Valhalla Shimmer Verb and the RC48 from native instruments, and I would just use those for splashes. So if you notice in the drum mix, every now and then there's this huge splash. That's coming because of the use. Let's see. So if we go like here, listen to the drums for a second. You hear the splashes. It's really cool. In there, and then I have a big hit splash right there. So that's done through automation to the buses. You would assign buses and then just play with the sends to get different playing amounts of splash hitting it every now and then to do that kind of stuff. Yeah, Valhalla Shimmer Reverb is a wonderful reverb. We could automate, set up something like that. Like so, if I set this to mute, and we go over here. If I was to say so what I did was this. I would say send to bus 1. And then bus 1, I would have this set to see. There's Valhalla. And I had it like a really long shift with a lot of feedback. The shift is an octave, so it's going to grow. And then you're just playing the groove. And doing that kind of stuff. But I don't have the settings right to get the splash to hit with the space that it had and so forth. It takes careful setup, and I don't have. Let's do this. If we're actually going to do this, let's do this. Let's go to contact first. No, actually, it's reactor, which is right here. So on top of everything is a Super Macho Drums kit. It's playing one of the down tempo grooves from over here. The groove players. I was on the down tempo playing this. So. Right? That's the groove. And then I dragged the MIDI file. I'll show you the steps. I dragged my MIDI file in. And a crow caught because it was... And then I changed the snare. I didn't want it to be that snare, so I went over to the note assignments and found the snare. And I set it to the E snare instead of the D snare. That's why I love Super Macho Drums is I have... I have 8 different snares to choose from. So I chose that snare. If I wanted to, I could have layered this with another snare and then brought these down in velocity a little bit. Right? So that happened, and then after that I added the molecular. And then I automated the sends back and forth. So I would go over here and I would set this to latch. And I just hit play because it didn't cut this stuff in. Oh, I gotta show you the vocal send I used to. Automating like this, right? Whatever you want to do. And when you play it back, it will now automate this and move these guys around. Because the most important thing that so many amateur musicians don't have going for them is they forget that you can't just let something just keep going and doing the same thing the whole song. It needs to be dynamic, change, unexpected things can bring out like, oh, where'd that come from? You know, whereas if it's just the same repetitive groove the whole time, you're not going to have that experience. And so if you look at people that are doing all sorts of filmic and, you know, the BTs and the cats that are doing stuff that is dynamic, it's because the sounds, they've given them personality and they change. And so they're using tools and automation up the yin-yang to change things. So automation is your friend. Learn about automation and use it. Even if it's subtle things, like just changing volume a little bit, just things to like catch you off guard every now and then is a good thing to do. The last thing I want to show is the voice, which is, it's using granular. Is it? Yeah, New World Opening by Clark, who's in the house. I did modify the granular ranges, and I don't know if I saved it that way or not. I don't think I saved it this way. Let me see if I copy this. Yeah, I have it where it's much more radical and extreme. So when you first call up this patch in the library, it does a little bit more pitch range and stuff than what I wanted. So I tapered these down so that they're lower settings. As you can see, here's the settings. I took down the interval all the way, and I brought the pitch grains just to have some pitch grains, but not a lot. And these are 2 samples that are using granular. And if you turn off granular, check this out. That's all they do. But because of granular looping around and shooting things around, it stays in place for much longer. All right, 6th note. So now it's much longer to get to the end of that phrase because it's playing, it's going forward a little bit. Exactly. Yeah, a lot of times, you know, you start with the patches and then you want to modify them to what you need it to do in your mix. If it's doing something that you listen to and go, boy, I don't like that. Every time I come to that part in the song, I kind of cringe. Find out what it is that's making you cringe and fix it. You know, that's what all these videos that I produced and released out here for you is to learn to know how to hear and go, oh, that's doing something I don't want, and fixing it. So hopefully that's the tools that you're learning about, is that you can modify these patches so that you can shape it so it fits, you know. It's like if I go into a store and I try to buy a size small shirt, it's not going to work no matter what you try to do. It will look rather disgusting. I'm an XL shirt kind of guy. So you need to do the same thing. When you're doing music and you call up a sound, shape it to your model, right? Presets are starting points. Would you consider VPS Avenger? It's a great synth. I have it. I like it a lot. I'm not interested in supporting it at this point with patches, but it is a pretty cool synthesizer. It has a lot of cool stuff. We might support it in the future. We got some things in the works, but nothing to announce. So, but VPS Avenger it's one of the mega synths. One of these things that can do like Omnisphere, multiple channels on different things. Its interface is a little challenging to understand. I might do a synth power walkthrough at some point on it. No, it's a good synth. Sorry. Next song. This is Tribute. This is the first one that I wrote. And I'm going to put it to like, so it's close. And let's see here. Let's unmute here. And I'll just play the track first. It's kind of your epic biggie. You know, there's certain sounds you have to show you can do. Big sawtooths are important. Thank you. Oh, the bass right here. Very 80s, little slidey little side notes and stuff. Bomb. Got the cake. kind of static. If I would have had more time, I would do more stuff in here for the production. Yeah, this is 80s, man. Kind of 80s thing, but hey. All right, so what is going on in this one? I did sneak in a little bit of Spire to go with the buzzy. Oh, here's the opening sound. This is, I think, a Bernie patch. Yeah, Beautifilia. Bernie was into the ARP land a lot. Very cool patch. So I just had it playing a single note, and then I wanted to build around it. A progression was kind of the goal. And then, and I did modify this a little bit. The release is shorter on the other sound, because this has this cool synth that plays and stabs. And it kind of goes away and you have like a wave station-esque kind of a vibe. I mean, it sounds like Wave Station. Let's see. Textures. Yeah, it's definitely Wave Station. Nothing else can really do that sound but the Wave Station. Okay, so there's that, and when you combine it with Spire, and then what was next in here? Super unisonic thing. So a bass, Tree Tower bass from from Tim Dale. So when you combine that with this, just the two of those, and then you add Spire to it, let's see. Right? And then on top of that, there was down here, is this another Omnisphere? I think I had to open up no, it's right here, 4. I got everything to work from one Omnisphere for this one, believe it or not. So this is a funny one. This is Acid Bass. This is the first patch in the library. And when I received it from the ESC, and you're going through it, and this is the first bass, and you call up and it was Acid Bass, and it didn't sound like an acid bass. It was very tame. And I'm like, you know, it's the first patch. It needs to be more something. And so I wrote to Bernie. I said, hey, you want to make this a bass, or can I work on it? And he's like, you work on it. Go for it. And so I made it an acid bass. I mean, for the first patch, it can bark. It can squeal like a pig. You know, all the good things you need in a nice techno acid bass kind of sound. And then on top of that is Funky, which is the bass that I've used a bit because it's like the obligatory bass. Every library has to have one sound that's the dark bass patch. And this one worked great. So when you combine that with this, and this, and this, and this, and then solo them, this is what you get for a big opening. It's using all of them. You can't do that with one sound. I'm sorry, you just can't. There's certain qualities from each of those sounds. You don't want the acid bass to be this warmy kind of chorused thing, but you want your brighter lead top layer to be chorusty and buzzy and so forth. So when you're doing tracks, don't always look for one sound that's going to do everything for you. That's a mistake you will fall into. You need to look for the components that are going to make the bigger. This is a big, complex sound. There's a lot going on. And then when you add that arpeggio just sitting there, just gives it that motion. It's like, ah, that's cool, you know? Okay, now the drums don't have the energy because they're not mixed and bussed out and all the stuff that I did for the track. And then this is using a sound from up here. I used another omnisphere for two sounds. There's this from Henrik, the sweet synth strings. Another one of those, you gotta have an obligatory unison, stringy, detuning thing. And then this is a really fun. I think I might have needed another omnisphere just for this part. And this is electronic dysfunction. And each one was pulling enough power that I needed to pull them out to be separate. So watch, when we play this and look at the feed here. See how it's sharing between all these different places? So don't worry, you can distribute. Remember, it's like you have like 8 bathtubs or however many processors you have, those are each bathtubs. And if you're trying to put everything into one bathtub and you have 7 empty bathtubs, that's not good management. And you're going to end up with crackling. You'll end up with your computer working hard. And it doesn't have to. So different omnisphere can equal different bathtubs. And so, you know, there's one thing where it's the habit of you just use an omnisphere for every sound you use. Don't do that. You can, if you're doing a bass and you're doing some other sounds, you know, use one instrument until you notice that it's starting to really, your processor meters or whatever in your sequencer are telling you it's time to maybe look at adding another bathtub to your renovation, right? And add it at that point. And so that's what happened. This is using 1, 2, 3, 4 different omnispheres and then one instance of contact to make the groove and the drums and everything that happens. So think of it as bathtubs, and you only have so much space in that bathtub before it starts to overflow. And you really don't want it to overflow. There's no reason for it to have to overflow when you have this wonderful 8-core, 12-core, quad-core, whatever processor. That means it has 4 different bathtubs. So don't try to have everything happening in one bathtub. So make sure that you look at your memory distribution and see what's going on there and use that as a guiding light to help you out, right? Yeah, it makes you want to sample a bathtub. In Cubase, it's better to use more instances. Yeah. Different sequencers. You gotta kind of learn how your sequencer works. If nothing else, if you're working in something and you've never watched a YouTube video on your sequencer, you're missing the boat. And you really should take some time and watch a handful of YouTube videos. You know, unknown secrets, top 10 secrets of Cubase, of Motu's Mark of the Unicorn. And you will learn all sorts of things that you can apply to your productions that will make working with your sequencer even that more pleasant. All right. So let me see here. I'm going to look real quick. I got a whole bunch of mail through the night. Oh, Bernie, did I forget to get you guys a live? I'm sorry. Oh. Bernie, you're a nut. Yeah, I got some things. I did the website at the very last minute last night, super late at night. So here we got some questions. Let's get to these really quick. There's things to fix on the page. I will fix those. Let's see here. Where were they? I saw some questions. Here we go. Live stream question. Okay. From Ivar. Okay. Ivar is asking about CC Learn. That is a good question. So most of these plugins have built into them some sort of, well, let's do this. Let's go over here and use something new. So we'll double click to get a new instrument 85. Nice. Let's say Omnisphere. And let's say that we have a patch from the ESC tribute library that we're playing with. Let's say it's a cool bass. And let me set up a cycle so that it will start here and sequence something, right? Now, we all have keyboards that have knobs on them to a certain extent. Some have a whole lot of knobs, some just have a few. I'm actually using a chord cross here, which only has a couple, the mod wheel and so forth. If there's a sound that I want to, like, say, I'm playing with it, right? And let's do this. Let's bring in our cycle points. That is just... I'm just playing around with it. Let's say I like that. So I've set it up by bringing the envelope down. I've taken out the attack of the envelope. But I just like... Now, you can do a couple different things. You can say modulate and choose something here. But there's also MIDI CC Learn. And MIDI CC Learn is to allow you to select, if you have like 8 knobs in front of you, each one of those is probably set up when you spin. Watch right here. When I move this, it's saying it's CC1. Okay? I don't think this has any other knobs that are gonna... Yeah, no, this is all SysX, the knobs that it's sending. So I can't with this and... Let's see. I could... Like this, for example. See how this has all the knobs? Each one of these can be assigned to be sending out a different CC number. So that instead of the mod wheel, you can have, good Lord, 16 mod wheels right here with these knobs. And that allows you to, in real time, change parameters of the sound. Like if I say CC Learn and I move one of the knobs, it has learned it to that. So now I can play. Right? Okay. Now if I had 16 knobs in front of me, I could go looking for another parameter. Maybe that's really cool. So I could assign this MIDI CC Learn and spin another one of my knobs that I have on my keyboard. And all of a sudden, I have multiple knobs changing multiple things in the synthesizer sound at one time. This is one of the things that the 2.5 update is bringing out, where they are selecting you say, I've got this hardware keyboard, and it's assigning all the knobs to the right sounds that equal what the knobs say. So if you have a Moog in front of you and it says resonance, they're tied so that they've done a MIDI learn, but it's hardware assigned to the resonance of the knob to equal what it is on the hardware. So there's that type of stuff. So MIDI CC learn allows you to go outside of your, the standard is mod wheel will always be assigned to do something cool, right? That's MIDI CC number 1. But a lot of you have all sorts of different hardware interfaces with knobs and stuff that you can assign cool things to. And so if you want, all you have to do, I think it's stored per patch. I think it might even be, let me see, if we go here to learn and show current assignments, it will spit this out where it says what's assigned to the CCs. Here, right here, filter cutoff. We just assigned that. So I think it learns it for until you unlearn it. As long as you have it set up with this setup, you could say MIDI CC learn inverted, or I think you could just turn it off. Unlearn CC1. See, it says right here what it's assigned to is CC1. If I say unlearn, now my mod wheel won't do that. And my sequence that I had programmed that into, if I come over here and play it, it should not do it now. Yeah. There's still CC1 information inside of the sequence. So if I was to go back to this and say MIDI CC learn and move this again, now when I play the sequence, it's back. So MIDI CC learn is a really important thing if you want to get where you're dynamically changing a lot of things in your sound in real time simultaneously. I tend to be more of one that will find something that's interesting and like, I'll just use automation. Like if we go to here and we said automate and say unlearn, I could go over here and because Logic has this set up, I could say set to touch and hit play and then the next time through. Oh, wait. Wow. It should remember both. Let's see. So if I play that back. Oh, but I haven't enabled host automation on this filter. And then if I go over here, I need to say enable host automation on this. Now I can do it. So you can do it as automation in your sequencer. If you use the enable the MIDI CC learn, now you can be doing that in real time. So if you're playing live, it comes out to be really cool to be able to do that kind of stuff. But the key is that you need to right click and say enable host automation to the parameters that you want to automate in your sequencer. Otherwise, it's not going to work for you. There's just so many parameters for 8 different patches that they can't just do a template where everything is turned on. There's too many parameters. So you have to tell it what parameters you want to use. Which means if you're in the middle of a song and you decide you're on track part 3, and all of a sudden you're like, I want to automate the filter, I have to go over here and say enable host automation because this is on part 3. And so it's very specific. If you go over here and you say show current assignments, it will pop up this list and you'll see that it says parameter. 3 means it's part 3. So see these are the levels for part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this tells you the part number and then the B filter cutoff. So that's layer B. So it's very specific what it will automate and not automate, and you have to tell it. And if you want, you can say unlearn host automation, and now it's back to being where you need to re-enable it in the future. So if you go to part 6 and you start automating on the filter, if you have not enabled host automation, then it's not set up for part 6. Doesn't know to do it, so it won't. Okay? So that's a good question, Ivar. Hope that answered it. I saw one more question. I thought maybe not. Yo, I got a live stream question. Okay. Currently, for some reason, I like Taylor Swift too. Someone is asking about a sound from a certain Taylor Swift album. I'd have to look that up and play it, and I can't do that in a live stream. Sorry. Okay, here we go. What level do you go for when mastering your own demos? Have you ever tried out this site? Yeah, there's a number of sites. Is this where you pay? Wow. I haven't seen this before. I'll share this with everybody. This is loudnesspenalty.com. So let's do this. Let's take a demo that I did. Let's see if I can find where is Indivisible Justice. So drag an MP3 or a wave over this. It will take a look at it and tell me if this is allowable. I'd get -5. Wow. Wow. So if I'll look at this. I hadn't seen this before. This is results in dB. I might be too loud for them. So like iTunes wants you to be down 5 dB. So this is a dB level. Okay. That's not like a rating. It's just how loud it is. So I'm a little bit too loud because I mastered to 100% the demo song, the demo tracks. So loudnesspenalty.com. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff happening where, you know, for iTunes, they have built-in loudnessing, something that they do to the audio itself. So you don't do it in mastering. So that's definitely interesting. I just master the way I know to get the sounds to be equivalent when I'm playing them in a mix with other things. JBridge for some of my 32-bit goldies. All right. Any other questions? I'm about to light my cake. So we can, I don't have, let's see, do I have? So here, we'll light the cake. What's the wish? What should I wish? I think for Mega Magic violin and percussive to be done. By the way, Taylor is working on violin, and we played with it this week, and it is incredible. I am very happy with progress. We got a ways to go. Anyway, cheers, everybody. It's very nice to celebrate my 54th birthday with all of you. Quite the honor, something I've never done before. Sharing a birthday with people on like every continent on the planet. So thank you. Here, have a piece of cake. I told you guys I'd share a piece of cake with you. So this is an awesome looking cake too. So there you go. We'll use it just to light it up so you can see. Isn't that nice? Oh, it's going to fall. So good cake. That's good. All right. I'm happy. I wish I could share it with you. Oh, Harold, you're too kind. I don't look a day over 55. Posh. All right. Is there any questions? Anybody have questions? I'm going to cut this short and go hang with my daughter. Hope this helped. The ESC Tribute Library. Let me explain real quickly just what this is to those of you that might not know. So back when I think it was Boombox, right? I think we did Boombox. And that's where I started opening up, letting people do songs and make sounds and patches and stuff. I have a cake too. I'll celebrate the birthday. Oh, thank you, Anton. So Bernie sent patches and started to communicate. And I love to talk to people. I love to chat through Facebook or through email. People will contact me, see what's going on, and become friendly, talk about things, answer questions. That's part of this business that I love. And there was a number of other people that made patches, and he made note of those that had like a star behind the work that they did, and he contacted them. And he started, without telling me or telling anybody, keeping tabs, making a little group of people. And then it became a bigger group of people, and he's like, hey, we've decided to call ourselves the European Sound Collective, and we want to make a library for you because we appreciate your work. And this is like November last year, December. And I'm like, okay. It's kind of, at that point, it's just abstract. And I don't deal very well with abstracts when it's something so far in the future. It's not a Gemini quality, let me tell you. And so, 2-3 months back, hey, it's getting closer to being done. Yay, cool. And then here it is. And he has 16 people that contributed. They are wonderful people and programmers, and I've gotten to be friends with a number of them. You can see their names if you go to the author. There's Anton, Bernie, Coxa. There's Clark Parker, DJ, Gareth Harold, Henke, Icarus, Jan Boxer. JX3D is, I believe, Henrik. I get messed up. I get confused with some of the names when they're the nicknames. Laurent Veronez, who's Airwave, who has a number of libraries. He's working on a library for later this year that's just going to blow your minds out of the water. Marcel, Marius, Stefan Bayer, who's made his own libraries. He's an accomplished programmer. Got to be friends recently with him, chatted. He used to live in LA and have a studio, and now he lives out of the country, which is something I'm seriously thinking of doing at some point here. And is so nice to make new contacts with people. And Tim Dale, who has the Sabersphere libraries, which are wonderful libraries. And Tim and Laurent, and I think those are the only two. Well, a lot of these people now have worked and contributed patches to the last number of libraries. They've gotten involved with Mega Magic Violin or Viola, and with Mega Magic Cello. I think those are the two. I'm not sure if there's anything else beyond that. But it's really awesome to have a relationship and have this resource of these people that, A, appreciate the videos and the stuff that I do enough to give me a library. And it just was incredible that it turned out to be able to be released on my birthday. So cool. Oh, Impact. Yes, you guys worked on Impact. That's right. So, good. Thank you, Mike. MV video. Right on, dude. Impact. Yeah, that's the library from Jason Schopfer where we used Wormhole on sound effects to create new kinds of sound effects and stuff. That was really fun. Boy, I wish I could tell you something. I've come across something. I can't tell you yet. I'm going to save it. But I have found a plugin that I'm using to build a library with that is just jaw-dropping. I am so excited. So that will be coming out at some point later this year. Something really, really amazing. Really cool. We got Mega Magic Violin in the works. We played maps for the first time. We've got a lot of work to do. The violin, the smaller bow, makes so that there's even more tuning stuff we need to work on, but we have our solutions on how to fix tuning now. I'm talking to Robert Dudzik. In fact, he sent me pictures on, I think, on my phone. He sent some updates. Let's see. He was dropping cars and trucks and stuff. So here he is. He's like, I'm getting new sounds for Percussa. So this is where we're getting our sounds from, is a junkyard. And I can't wait for Percussa. That is going to be a highlight for the second half of the year. Anyway, these guys all contributed these patches. And so there's 250 patches. Look at all the art. The art just goes forever. And there's fun. Oh, wait. I'm not on the right thing. So let's see if I'm... Oh, I'm on part 6. So if I go over here to the BPM... Just such great stuff. Really cool. Do very dark techno with that. Jean Michel. So I'm going to do a patch walkthrough library. I was supposed to do one yesterday, and it turned out that it was the best time. My daughter wanted to see The Incredibles 2. I wanted to see The Incredibles 2, but she wanted to see it with her friends. And so the timing worked out that I could take them last night to see the Incredibles 2 movie. Loved it. It was so fun. It was funny, creative. Those guys are so darn creative with what they do in animation. And so I did not do the patch walkthrough because I was at a movie theater with my daughter. And I am not sorry about that in the least. So this weekend... I think probably tomorrow I can do the patch walkthrough. I'll go through and show. I don't know if I will go through all 250 patches because there's so many. I mean, so many of these. It's really fun. I love this. And I've told it before. Even back in the day when we did the Wave Station voicing, when we all get together and each person's coming from a different place, it's really fun to play with other people's patches sometimes. And I like that as much as anybody else. And so it's really fun to have all these sounds that I didn't labor over these, hardly any. I did some on some, just a little bit, because there's a couple I wanted to like have shaped. As I was doing the demos, certain things needed to be done. So that's the kind of stuff I would do, but I didn't like want to just go through and like do my usual quality control, you know, robotic levels, playing mod wheel, all that kind of stuff. I didn't do that to this library. So this is other people's libraries. It's other people's clothes, you know, and there's really fun stuff. And I will tell you, in talking to Bernie, because they know my standards are super high and they have learned, and Bernie's like trying to like take notes on everything, and the other guys are trying to take notes on everything. They went through the library like 3 or 4 times, fine-tooth comb, before they even got it to me. Because they still knew I would find things to fix and change and all that kind of stuff. But I appreciate, and you guys have to appreciate that level of scrutiny to the presets before they even come out to me, before they come to you. So it's a really cool library that they've done, and it's an honor to have them as kind of a symbiotic relationship. We have a nice relationship with these guys, and so it's cool that they have stuff they're working on in the future they'll be releasing that will be selling, not for the $35, $25 libraries, but full-on big, you know, normal full A-star libraries. The first library, I want this to be for everybody and share, and it's not, since it was given to me, it's not like it's just really awesome where it is. Just so you know, inside the library, if you go over here to the tribute, there's a lot of new sounds. Icarus and all these people JX3D, he added all sorts of sounds. There's also some sounds in here from violin, from Creaturesque, from cello, even from Perspective. There's a couple of things, which actually that's an EDM from Del Norte, cello. So there's sounds in here from different libraries, even OMG, as well as new stuff that people created. So there's 50 sound sources and 250 patches. So Moog Workstock. Yeah. Yeah, well, thank you guys. Okay, so I'm going to wrap up. Any questions? I've talked my daughter into going to my favorite restaurant, which is not necessarily her favorite restaurant, because it's my birthday. She's got to come along with me. And then we're going to go take pictures of roses. And, oh, thank you, Paul. And then we're going to go take pictures of roses. In 10 days from right now, on the 26th, I am leaving on vacation. So I will be out of the country for 2 weeks. Taylor will be here doing email answering and stuff and watching the house and all that kind of stuff. So we'll be covered, but I will be gone for a while to take a break and unplug. I'm going to Costa Rica, where my phone doesn't even work, and enjoying rainforests and jungles and everything. So that's what I will be doing in 10 days. Cannot wait. All right. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Paul. Good to see you all. Great to see people hanging. You guys rock. I have used Halion. The new Halion. Yes. Some guys sent me their libraries that they've done for this. Let's see. It's the Halion Steinberg Halion Sonic SE. And it's interesting. It's like, it's a little cookie cutter because it's kind of preset template and shape the way it works for the parameters and stuff. And, you know, you load a sound up and let's see if we make this go away. Oh, load. Huh. Load up. So if we hit the edit button, we now have, this program requires, oh. Yeah, so it's not up. I had this problem a little while ago. But anyway, that's the interface, and people can make libraries. The interface has to fit in the small box and work with. So, yeah, they're trying to do kind of a Contact-esque kind of an interface. I don't want to get into a review of that. Cool. All right. Oh, Halion 6. Drink all the liquor in Costa Rica. All right. Yeah, I think we're wrapping up. Thank you all for joining, for having a piece of cake. That was a very cool thing. Yes. Simon Stockhausen has made great libraries for Halion. That's awesome. Good to hear. All right. Be well. And let me see here. Where's the interface right here? Have a great day, everyone. A great week. Yeah. Simon makes a lot of great libraries. No doubt about it. All right. Be well. Thank you for joining me on my birthday. Thank you for your support of the new library. Bernie, the ESC team, thank you guys for your contribution. It's a beautiful thing. It's very cool to see a library. Your logo looks awesome. Good job everywhere. All right. See you guys. Be well. Bye.